Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong. We have we are doing the aftermath of dealing with Kianya. So far, my suspicion that oh, you're not recovering. You're all armed to the teeth and ready. Never talked to you. Don't know your name. Anyway, so far my suspicion that Josephine Sang is going to be the real villain of this, the real final boss of this, is not coming true. We'll see, though. As you enter, Kindly Cheng is giving instructions to Strangler Bao, who nods enthusiastically. She looks over at you and holds up a hand. Wait. And send Wang and Ho to snatch some of those medical supplies off of the relief trucks. With all the excitement, nobody's watching them at all. There'll be a big black market for them over the next few weeks. She nods to herself, grimacing in satisfaction. Good thinking, Mrs. Cheng. Bao lifts a finger to his ear to transmit the orders. When he sees you waiting, he inclines his head a quarter of an inch. Noel, I figured you were dead. Last I heard, my soldiers had found you, and everyone was heading into the walled city. Then things got out of control. She takes a pull on the thin black cigar. Where are my people? What the hell happened? They're dead. You're really stealing medical supplies, Auntie. No one will miss a few boxes. The corps have a PR bonanza with all this humanitarian relief work. There'll be no shortage of supplies, believe me. And don't think you can distract me with that medical supply shit. I kind of figured that. She looks up at you from the PDA. I sent you with 5 soldiers and they're all dead. Her eyes are little hard black buttons. Is that how you treat my resources? Soldiers die, that's what they're for. No, soldiers are for killing the other guy. She takes another drag off her cigar, exhales the smoke through her nose. When your soldiers die, it's called losing. She taps her ash on the floor. Well, they knew the risk. They had a shot at moving up, and they missed. Forget them. I've got bigger custom problems, like customers and tenants streaming out of the walled city, screaming for their lives, like the HKPF and those Sang security shitheels swarming the place. She drops the stub of the cigar in an ashtray. Now tell me what happened in the walled city, or do I have to get an acetylene torch and ask nicely? Raymond Black accidentally summoned a demon god. We had to put her down. Kindly Cheng's eyes get big at that. What kind? A Yama King. Kianya, the queen with 1,000 teeth. Never heard of her. She picks up a bottle of foul spirits and studies the label. Her rusty, mean voice draws low. But I've been doing the wrong voice again, haven't I? But I know the Yama Kings. My grandmother used to try to scare me with stories about them. I guess that she thought she was teaching me something by scaring the shit out of me. She chuckles softly. I remember one Yama specifically, Fu Meng, the serpent of the setting sun. Oh yes. Fu Meng promised wealth and influence for those willing to do what was necessary to take it. Her voice turns wistful. The story of Fu Meng spoke to me. Come on, click. All he asked for in return were 44 hearts pulled from the chests of those closest to you while they were still alive. Hearts from random victims wouldn't do, so those who took Fu Meng's bargain would befriend others before taking their hearts, turning their entire network into a list of victims. Yes, Fu Meng spoke to me, but I didn't listen. Strangler Bao leans in, his finger to his ear. My apologies, Miss Cheng, but one of the men you sent with the runners into the walled city is still alive. He stumbled into Wang and Ho as they were pulling medical supplies off a lorry. Cheng turns to you with an edge in her voice. At least one came back alive. Strangler Bao lowers his head, listens to his earpiece again. Our man says Wang Lun Fat is dead. He got shot by the HKPF out inside the walled city. Bao lifts his head and makes eye contact with the triad boss. He's almost salivating with avarice. Our man saw it with his own eyes. Mrs. Cheng? Is that good news? It is delicious, my darling. Wang Lun Fat was my superior in the Yellow Lotus. A 438. Kindly Cheng's black button eyes sparkle with satisfaction born of malice. He was also a pig. Tell our friend Noel what that means, Mr. Bao. Wolfish smile spreads across her face and her eyes squeeze into crescent moons of pleasure. And say it slow so I can savor it. The death of Wong Lun Fat has opened a spot for you to move up, madam. You could be the next 438. The gods help those who seize opportunities. Bao smiles. The effect is chilling. Mr. Bao, put every man we have on this. Spread the word. Kindly Cheng says all debts to the Yellow Lotus are suspended for citizens of the walled city until order is restored, and no interest will compound either. Tell them that I have medical supplies too, and there will be no charge for them until the crisis is over. You are a pillar of the community. Don't be snide, Noelle. You don't want to blow my good mood. She raises her voice so the triads in the room can hear her. The citizens of the walled city need clarity and reassurance. The Yellow Lotus will provide them that. I may not have brought Josephine Tseng down, but I've got my career going again. She grabs her bottle and screws the cap with her thumb. Your career too, Mr. Bao. You'll be my new straw sandal. Good partners. Support one another. Bao lowers his head in respect. You have proven that, Mrs. Cheng. What about the information I got about... Oh, dear. This calls for a drink. The soon-to-be 438 pours 2 shots and the stink of kerosene stabs your nose like a switchblade. She hands a glass to Bao, touches it with her own, and holds it there. Your loyalty and clear-headedness have proven immensely valuable, Mr. Bao. You are an effective ally, and I wish you great wealth and good fortune. They drown the foul substance in one gulp. Looks like you two are moving up in the world. Yes, yes, and it appears your fortunes are changing as too, Noelle. She pours herself another drink and leaves it sitting on the table. Remember, you have a mysterious benefactor, one who lifted the APB on you? Any idea who that might be? I don't have a clue, and I must admit that bothers me. It must be someone powerful. I can't imagine it was Josephine Tseng. After all, what would her motivation be? It's got to be someone else. Yeah, well, it's not like I've made a lot of friends since we hit town. One of Josephine's enemies on the Executive Council. I'll tap my network, find out if I can. But that's for later. I'm missing an entire piece of your story, my darling. What happened at Prosperity Tower? Did you rescue Raymond Black? Did his mother wipe your memory? We got to him in time, got what we needed from him. Got what he needed from him, but that sounds harsh. She changes topics, apparently uninterested in hearing more. She lights the cigar, a gleam of hunger in her shiny black eyes, and it was harsh because, in all likelihood, he's going to die or fall apart mentally fairly soon. So it doesn't feel right to be happy about we got him back. While you were in Prosperity Tower, did you find any incriminating data on Josephine Tseng? Dirt, something I can use? We found financial statements that'll get her in deep with the Executive Council. Enjoy. Something we can use. Financial shenanigans that will hurt Joe Tseng, the Executive Council. Yep, financial statements. The Executive Council would love to see. As I recall, you were going to back up the Nguyen truck for this. Toss her the... Okay. Do I want to ask her this? As I recall, you were going to back up the Nguyen truck for this. Kindly's face is expressionless. If you have what I'm looking for, you will be rewarded. Throw me the cred stick. I'll toss you the data. Triad boss pulls out a cred stick and waggles it in front of you. Data first, then you get this. That's how it works. Done. Kindly barks a laugh, and her cigar dances in her mouth as she speaks. Now, I can take that dried old bitch to the mat. The triad boss pulls out... How much money was that? Oh my goodness, that was a lot. Triad pulls out a cred stick and tosses it to you. The number on the data readout is big, more than twice the payout of a single Shadowrun. With this, Josephine Tseng's days on the Executive Council are numbered. Bao, it appears my fortunes have truly changed. Now granted, that's a small payout for Dragonfall, but Dragonfall had a different storyline going. Our partnership has become quite enriching, Noelle. To my new #1 Shadowrunner, may our partnership continue to bear fruit. partnership, huh? We'll talk more about that in the morning, my darling. It's been a busy day. Now, before I get back to business, I must know, how did you go from rescuing Raymond Black to the walled city vomiting people? Ah. Ray made a magical fortune machine, but it suffered from a demon summoning glitch. Your foster father created a magical fortune machine? The Triad boss cocks her head, raises her cigar to her lips. Please tell me you have control of this device. Please tell me you brought it to me. Nope. Sorry. That's a pity. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people who could benefit from it. Well, this business has certainly proved lucrative for me. Kindly Cheng studies the glowing tip of her back on her black cigar. I'm in prime position to be the next Yellow Lotus 438. I only lost 4 men, and I finally got something I can use against Josephine Sang. And we got Raymond back. Then you did what you came here to do, and the gun show too. You've made quite a splash since arriving in Hong Kong, Noel. Many Shadowruns completed in a very short time. It's less than a week. The reports from our clients are glowing, mostly. You don't forget what we did in the walled city. That could have gotten that. You can add closing the door on a demon goddess to the list. We made a difference. Perhaps for some, for a while. Listen to me, sweet. When I was a girl, there had never been a pandemic like Vitus, but in 2010 it happened. We'd never seen death like that. Tri-Boss leans in, her voice conspiratorial. A quarter of the world's population disappeared. It was miserable. It pushed us to our limits, but the survivors moved on. And then the spike babies started appearing, and the dwarf babies. And then suddenly there were dragons and goblinization and magic, and every time the world changed, we got used to it. So if a demon goddess decided the walled city was her new living room, and you didn't, whatever you did, what would have happened? She shrugs, sniffs. Perhaps the news would cover it until the next sensation pulled their attention away, but after a while it would be drowned out by all the other crap competing for our attention. And the demon in the walled city would become the new normal. Well, the new normal is the walled city isn't under magical influence anymore. I'm using the wrong voice for you. Congratulations! The poor can return to their misery with no interference from magical machines or big bad things because of you. Now let me give you a piece of advice for the future, my sweet, something Mr. Cheng used to tell me. Respect ghosts and gods, but keep away from them. It sounds like you almost lost your ass in the walled city. I think you'd best listen to that. No more demons from now on, Auntie. Kindly smiles mischievously. So wise. Okay, she stubs out her cigar, screws the top back on her bottle. Now get some sleep, Noelle. You look like shit. Tomorrow we'll talk about your future. Maybe next time you can just say I look like I could use some sleep. Last time you told me to go to bed, I woke up a Shadowrunner. What happens when I wake up tomorrow? Bed sounds good. We get to work, my darling. You heard Mr. Bao. The gods help those who seize opportunities. She dips her finger into her empty glass, finds the last drop of liquor, and brings it to her mouth. Kindly Cheng turns away, dismissing you with a wave. Bao, what's the status on those medical supplies? And go to bed is the objective. We have 1 karma. We have 5,000 new yen. And I'm going to be a little bit silly. I'm going to go get the cyberware I wanted. It'll be completed in a little bit of time. As if, it doesn't take weeks to get used to new cyberware. Because this is a video game. That would be inconvenient. Okay, we've gone through this. Do you really want to know? Yes, I do. Hong Kong's got under my skin. I think I'm staying. Oh, redo this. Ambrose grins widely at you, his living eye twinkles. Sahara Combat, no, same thing. Okay. Goodbye, Ambrose. It's been real. Goodbye, Noel. Do you take care. Shoot straight, watch your back. Always keep a trauma patch and a few spare mags. Don't deal with triads, but never, ever on your mother's soul cut a deal with a dragon. There are worse things than dragons to cut a deal with. Okay, so we can't buy from you. We probably can't buy from you. We have 5,000 new yen and nothing to do with it. It's a little bit annoying. Okay, I am going to save just because there is still the possibility that Josephine Tseng could be really still could be the end of the mission of the game. The scene on the bolt hole is quiet, save for the sounds of eating. Raymond and your crew crowded around Gobbet's electric hot plate. Her cast iron pot simmers on top and holds bowls of soup in their hands. You recognize the smell: chicken-style soya broth, elbow macaroni, tinned ham, and a heaping scoop of egg-flavored mycoprotein. Raymond eats heartily. It may be the first meal he's had in days. You eating? I thought you were all going to bed. We figured we'd hang out a while. No one could remember the last time we ate. Well, except me, because I eat all the time. She looks over her bowl at Duncan. Besides, no one could sleep anyway. Still pretty amped up, and I've got a lot to process. Wu looks over at Raymond. So we've been talking and eating. He takes an enormous gulp of soup. What are you talking about? Isabel fishes a chunk of something out of her soup with her fingers, flicks it to the floor. We've been debriefing a bit. Yeah, talking about all that's gone on. The runs, rescuing Raymond in the walled city, the machine. It's hard to believe we did all that. Isabel stares over her bowl at the wall of the trawler. Her voice is soft. Hard to believe we defeated a god. Demon god? Gobbet stirs her soup with her finger. From another plane of existence. Hard to believe that Josephine Tseng is going to remain untarnished by this whole thing. 20 years of misery, 20 years of suffering for tens of thousands, hundreds maybe. The little Decker's face hardens. That's the way it is. That's the way the world works. The powerful play their games and the little people pay the price. She'll see someday, just as someday she has to. Maybe in the next life, because this is a world with ghosts and afterlives, so possible. Wu stares into his soup. I think there are ghosts in Shadowrun? Yeah, I think there are ghosts. Squinting in concentration. But one thing doesn't add up for me. Why was Josephine Tseng so intent on shutting us down? Why wouldn't she be? You saw what she was responsible for. No, think about it. The HKPF snipers, the plastic-faced man, all the resources she poured into capturing Raymond and hunting us down. I mean, she's already covered her tracks with that illegal drug lab explosion, right? So why not let Ray do his thing, then cover it up afterward? It doesn't add up. Oh, I believe that I have an answer. I noticed it for the first time when I saw the fortune engine again for the first time. A module attached to the machine. One that I didn't design. Module? A siphon. Mother was stealing it the whole time. The cast-off positive key from the walled city, leeching it for her own benefit. That is how Tseng Mechanical Services rose so quickly from the minor company my father built to the powerful corporation it is today. It's how she got herself on the Executive Council of Hong Kong. She was creating her own luck, and she's setting up to do it again. She's already talking about, oh my goodness. Kind of saw this coming, but not creating, stealing. The hint of a smile crosses Raymond's weathered face. It will be interesting to see what will happen to her company now that the fortune engine is shut down. Maybe we should send her some four-leaved clovers. She might need them. Kind of over your head, Gobbet. Sometimes things do, I noticed. You take... oh, whatever. Gobbet finishes her soup, lets out a little belch, and pats her stomach satisfied. She tosses the bowl in the corner for madness and folly. So what now? I'm going to walk around a bit, stretch my legs. You should bag it soon, Keely, and get some sleep. He winks at you. You look like shit. So I've heard. Why does everybody tell me that? Okay, they're all going to go to the different places. Are you just stopping there, Gaichu? Let's go over here. Catch up with everybody, it looks like. Okay, Gaichu seems stuck. 0 messages. Jobs. None. Go back. Shadowland. Relevant keywords. Storm Wake. Breaking news report attached. In Usagi's wake comes relief and rebuilding. Today, Hong Kongers begin to assess the damage of Typhoon Usagi. We already know that we were lucky. Heavy rains from the storm's periphery caused minor flooding throughout Hong Kong, mostly due to clogging or overwhelming of the runoff control system. This morning, an aerial survey of the mountains has counted at least 100 new active landslides. The Victoria Harbour pump arrays successfully maintained harbour level near normal despite very heavy runoff. At peak pump operation, the Energy Authority instituted mandatory blackouts in 60% of the zone, presenting the most severe test of the pump system in years. Almost no wind damage was reported, thanks to moderate winds. 7 corporate citizen fatalities have been reported. Relief operations are underway to assess impact to the unregistered population. Total unregistered deaths are forecast to be less than 10,000, not including the numberless people killed and eaten and mutated within the walled city because Josephine Tseng decided she wanted to leech good luck from hundreds of thousands of people. The Wujing Environmental Office has issued a citizen advisory warning all ordinary persons to avoid contact with storm-driven mud due to high levels of toxic runoff. Ordinary persons? Executive Council has expressed gratitude that Usagi has proven a minor event for most of Hong Kong. Well, you've been talking about how it's a fairly minor storm despite being awakened this entire time, and apparently burned itself out trying to resist landfall. So yeah. However, the Security Subcommittee already reports several hundred cases of vandalism, looting, and incursion. We go to Captain Crate, Special Deputies Unit, who has just received a unanimous promotion for her valiant work to protect Hong Kong's unregistered citizens during the storm. Unfortunately, Hong Kongers know well the pattern of anarchist and criminal elements using natural disasters as an opportunity for exploitation. Joint Corporate and HKPF Special Duties teams today are fanning out through Hong Kong to bring these criminals to justice. I'm pleased to announce that the Security Commissioner has vowed to swiftly punish crimes which occurred during Usagi's passage. Any such crimes will be prosecuted as infractions of both zone security and of human rights. Cases will be tried before a special tribunal. Beyond the free enterprise zone, extreme winds and major flooding are reported along the section of coast where Usagi's center crashed ashore. States of emergency have been declared in Gyeonghai-zen, the Sanshao-zen, Pingsha-zen megaplex, and numerous coastal communities. There are unconfirmed reports of major casualty incident on the exclusive island of Shengchuan-dao. Click on our PDA notifier for breaking news updates on this story, including exclusive casualty footage. Brutal. There's a lot hiding between the lines. I'd expect White Prism to be posting on this. White Prism and Manita are currently whereabouts unknown. They vanished? They're dead? I don't know. Get used to it. Over the next couple days, we're going to find a lot of people missing. Holy hell. No, not holy hell. Typhoon season. Welcome to the coal. In other words, their run may not have gone very well. Chlorine gas spill in the WC. Check this headline out, just out. Meth factory accident during typhoon kills thousands in walled city. For real? That stuff's terrifying. Check this newscast out. An accident at an illegal crystal methamphetamine factory in the walled city slum sickened or killed thousands of people during the passage of Typhoon Usagi. The incident created a mass panic in the tightly confined labyrinth of buildings. The release is presumed to be related to typhoon damage. The hydrogen chloride gas was released from an industrial-scale superlab which was being operated by the so-called Yellow Lotus organized crime syndicate. The gas combines with moisture to produce hydrochloric acid, chemically burning the respiratory system of those who breathe it. Death is typically by asphyxiation. A civil response team from Sang Mechanical Services responded to the event, destroying the factory and providing medical treatment to survivors. Sang has not yet released an official estimate of casualties. Sang CEO, well-known philanthropist Josephine Sang, personally spoke at a press conference. As long as we allow socioeconomic conditions to persist that trap millions of people in poverty, or, I sabotage a machine so that I can steal the luck of those people, these events will continue to occur. The desperate choose paths of social and environmental crime because they have little practical choice. It is our duty as Hong Kongers to ultimately forge a better future for all of our residents, but mostly for me. Please, go ahead, try to have good luck. I will steal it somehow. I still have the plans for that machine. We are extraordinarily lucky that this incident turned out as well as it did. First on our analysis panel, we go to economic analyst Jonathan Chow. Dr. Chow is trapped at home by storm damage and joins us by audio only. Dr. Chow, are you there, and are you and your family all right? Yes, thank you, we are all fine, although let me tell you my gardeners will have their work cut out for them. Dr. Chow, getting down to the business, what's your assessment of this announcement by Ms. Sang? This is typical Josephine Sang antics. She's spending resources and risking the lives of a response team trying to help the very people who shelter and patronize this kind of drug production. This week it's methamphetamine lab. Next week it will be a BTL factory solvent spill. The week after that, more riots. When do we say enough is enough? Ms. Sang should be exercising her fiduciary responsibility to her shareholders, not hand-wringing over people who won't help themselves. No more posts in this thread. I really do kind of wish that I hope Amanita and White Prism are fine, but we're never going to learn. I think they're big names in the Shadowrun universe. I would have to look them up. This is early in the Shadowrun universe, really early. It's like first edition timeline. Oh, now you move. I do kind of wish. I never got to see. I got to see Gaichu in action with his new sword, and it wasn't particularly impressive. I never got to see Ractor in action. Oh well. Maybe next time I do a run, I'll do his mission earlier. Ractor eyes you impassively. He wears an easy smile, but his eyes are as cold and unfeeling as Koshei's censors. Well, my friend, quite an evening. We fought and treated with an extra-dimensional being, prevented her from nesting in walled city, and shut down a machine that was twisting fate itself. Rather impressive list of accomplishments, wouldn't you say? I wish Shadowland let you post to it. That would be interesting, but I can see why they wouldn't. I'll take it. His teeth gleam white. Yes, my friend, of course you will. Our struggle is in the walled city is over, I guess. That means you can focus on other things now. Indeed, ushering in the future is time-consuming endeavor, as you have no doubt surmised, but it is my calling, and I am powerless to resist it. And you are doing Transylvanian rather than Russian. Terrible accent, and probably not even Transylvanian. You are doing Hollywood Dracula rather than Russian. Terrible actor you are. Koshei scuttles out from under Raptor's work desk. The machine's murderous limbs skitter and screech on the metal grates that line the floor. Raptor glances back towards his workshop. The automated tools that line the walls light up in response. And with that, my friend, I should really get back to my machines. Our task in the walled city may be over, but my work for the evening has only just begun. One problem I have with him as a NPC, and it's not because of him, I like his character, but it also means that if you do a drone rigger character, that you will seem lackluster in comparison. Because all you will get to use, unless they have it programmed in somewhere, is the generic stuff. And he's a genius that has designed his own drone. Kind of off-putting, but I guess I can see what the problem is. Be well, my friend. He nods, his pearl-white smile glinting in the dim light. And rest while you can. There is more looming on the horizon than you could possibly dream of. So, go to Gaichu. Gaichu is in the process of cleaning his cabin as you enter. Using a small hand broom, he sweeps dust and debris about into small piles. Sensing your arrival, however, he pauses. Well, it is not every day that one can say they fought an ancient god and won. The ghoul folds his arms across his chest as a thin smile graces his lips. Twice! And then out-talked her. It is an unbelievable story. I have a hard time believing it myself. It seems like a dream. God, I'd hate to live in a world where that kind of thing is a mundane occurrence. The sixth world is full of wonders. Oh, mundane occurrence. I hate to live in a world where that thing is a mundane occurrence. That would be my world, actually. The sixth world is full of wonders. Every day brings new discoveries, or perhaps awakenings of ancient truths and beings. Someday, such events may become mundane, but I would echo your sentiment. Let us hope that they do not. What will you do now? Are there further mountains for you to climb? I figure I'll stick around in Hong Kong and see where life takes me. A good plan, one that echoes my own. I have to ask, how do you feel about being part of killing an ancient god of death? I think I need a nap, honestly. Kaichu laughs, slapping a palm against his leg. Well, that is a simple request, easily accommodated. I'm sure no one would begrudge you some rest and relaxation after all of this. I'm glad you're a part of the team, Kaichu. Excellent. Then I think I will get to cleaning, and if you need me for anything, well, you know where to find me. Wish I could catch up with Ku Feng. She didn't hang around, but oh well. Oh, there's Raymond. I think we'll do that last. Isabel will be next to last. As you enter Gobbet's cabin, you find her sipping from an enormous mug. Something dark and steamy sloshes as she lowers the vessel. Her rats squeak happily from their perches on her shoulders. That was a hell of a thing, wasn't it? We fought a Yama King and we won! I'd say it's time for celebration. Got anything to drink around here? Yeah, and the woman who brought that Yama King here in the first place isn't going to serve a day in prison for it. Given a chance, I'd like to stay far away from demon gods from this point on. I think I'll stick on this point. No, this is Gobbet. I'd say it's time for celebration. Got anything to drink around here? Sure do, but if you think I'm breaking it out tonight, you're crazy. I'm exhausted, Seattle. I don't think I can keep my eyes open for much longer. If we're going to celebrate our victory in style, I don't want to pass out on the 10-minute mark. You must be tired, too. To be frank, I don't even know how you're still standing. Well, it's the hydraulic jack in my leg, to be precise. I choose to believe it's both legs, and that the left leg, right leg thing is just slots. It's the hydraulic jacks in my legs, to be honest. Otherwise, I've got them locked. Otherwise, I think I would be unconscious right now. Sheer force of will. She smirks at you. Yeah, I'll bet. Go exert your will in your cabin, then. We mere mortals need to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow, though, right? I mean, you're not going anywhere. It's phrased as a statement, firm and final. Right now, I don't think I could leave her. Yeah, Gobbet. I'll see you then. Yeah, right, good. I'll see you then. She hesitates for a moment. Then the corner of her mouth tilts up into that old familiar smirk. Oh, and Seattle? Yeah? Sweet dreams. Oh, gads, Gobbet. Really? Oh. Seriously. Dreams. That's your parting remark for this game. Oh. Isabel looks up at you, a troubled expression on her face. If she's found any peace from your victory in the walled city, she isn't showing it. Well, we did it. Kimya is gone, and we never have to set foot in the walled city again. She tries on a smile. It falls away a moment later. I guess that I don't need these memories anymore. You haven't needed them since we got back, so why haven't you deleted them yet? Don't you? They're a part of you, after all. So is a kidney stone. Doesn't mean that you want to hang on to it. Actually, no. A kidney stone is accumulated debris that's not part of you. She pauses, frowning. But in all seriousness, something is holding me back. These memories are like torture, but deleting them doesn't feel right, and I don't know why. You were fine, just fine before you had these memories restored. You've been suffering ever since. Just get rid of them. You'll be happier that way. Look, if you delete those memories, you'll be doing to yourself what Josephine Tseng was trying to do to Raymond. Which is true, but it's different when you are doing it to yourself. My choice here is going to be the way she goes. That's the way these games work. I'm going to go with keep the memories because a personal thing. I have memories I don't want to have. Nothing too tremendous. But mostly mistakes I'd made in my past. But, you know, your memories are what forge you. You learn not to make the same mistakes. You learn bad mistakes give you warning signs. Oh, I forgot about the little tracery of the stuff there. That's cool. Look, if you delete those memories, you'll be doing to yourself what Josephine Tseng was trying to do to Raymond. She says nothing, just stares. A moment later, she nods. Yeah, that's what I'd be doing, changing my past through omission, rewriting my present by doing it. I think it's a form of self-mutilation, kinda. It makes me feel uneasy. They're ultimately your memories, Isabel. Do what you want with them. You have no one to answer to but yourself. I just wanted you to be clear as what it was. Yeah, I know, but I want to make sure that I can live with whatever decision I do make. I'm thinking maybe I'll sleep on it. I think that's a good call. It's been a big day. Yes, a bit. You can probably use the rest too. Good night, Noel, and rest well. You've earned it. Curious. I still have one karma. I'm going to save just because I'm still thinking the game is going to pull a thing on me and have Josephine send some sort of kill squad to get rid of us all. Unless that's the expansion campaign. It could be the expansion campaign. I have not been running the timer. Oh well. You enter to find Wu setting up a little nest on the floor of his cabin, using an old tarp for a blanket and a duffel bag for a pillow. Before you ask, this is for me. He stabs the thumb toward his bed. Raymond gets the bunk. As a note, there's a second bunk there, Duncan. Um, you could just... whatever. Raymond looks around the cabin with some apprehension. He sniffs the air and his nose wrinkles. This is where you live? We took what we could get. It has its own unique charm. We call it the bolt hole. Bolt hole, yes. Charming. Raymond's eyes drop to the floor. I'm sorry you had to follow me. I had to go through what you did, live like this, to help me. Oh, forget that. I think you've lived with enough guilt for one lifetime. She's right, Ray. I don't know what sort of justice you're looking for, but coming here alone, facing King Ya? I was wrong, little man. You're no coward. I still can't believe what you did, the way you stood up to her. Me either. The old man's eyes crinkle, offer you something new, respect. Something dinged. Nope. You did it, and you were very clever. Raymond stares at his hands. Even after all that has happened, I still find it hard to believe that Mother did those things. What exactly was she doing to your brain, Raymond? We know she was altering your memories. One memory, just one. She was going to make me believe that my fortune engine never worked, that my theory was wrong, and that was why she canceled prosperity. It was the smallest, simplest change she could think of, the most believable. What happened to your memories of living in Seattle? Would it wipe our entire history together? Too complicated. I would still go to Seattle, still run away. Or would be because of my loss of face at having failed. In front of all my subordinates, instead of, he lets the thought drift. Lucky thing for us you did come to Seattle. Well, maybe not for Colleen here. She's had a harder road than me. So I understand. Duncan tells me that you were imprisoned for a long time. I had no idea. Yeah, I was locked down hard. No communication with the outside world. That would explain a great deal. The old man closes his eyes, takes a deep breath. I misjudged you for many years. I was wrong. Did that really just happen? Did Ray just say he was wrong? Yes, he did. Thank you, Raymond. Raymond takes your hand and shakes it. The hand feels frail, like it's made of pigeon bones. And this is why I said we got what we needed, because he's not long for this world. It appears that we both have gaps in what we know about the other's past. I want to take the time to fill them in. For years, I have worked to help you develop a strong sense of self-identity. I wanted to know who you were, live a genuine life. He makes eye contact, doesn't flinch, perhaps because I was living a lie. Now that you are older, I have been through so much, I must ask. Who are you? Do you know? I'm still Killeen Vickers, on the inside anyway. And part of me is still Edward Sang on the inside. Who gently drops a hand on the old man's shoulder. Okay, Raymond, you need a rest. Tomorrow I'll take you to see a guy named Ambrose. He might be able to help you with that stutter. He looks from his foster father to you. A twinkle appears in his eye. Then maybe we'll get dim sum together like we used to, the three of us. And then I'd like that. I'm not going to be snarky here. I'd like that. Dim sum sounds good. Let's see how I feel tomorrow. Like if I'm still alive. Raymond rubs his stomach, lets out a little burp. Gobbet soup does not agree with me. Raymond sits down on Wu's bunk. You actually ate Gobbet's soup? Seriously? And closes his eyes. A moment later, he begins snoring softly. Wu watches the old man for a moment without speaking, then he shakes his head, confused. I don't know what to think about him anymore, Killeen. You're calling me Killeen instead of Noelle. Nice. I don't know what to think about any of this. You going to stay in Hong Kong, Wu? Wu rubs his eyes, begins unbuckling his ammo belt. Oh crap, I don't know. It's too late to think. I'll probably just do what I've been doing since we arrived here. Follow your lead. He pulls his arm over his head and drops it on the bed. Now get out of here. I've got a date with a duffel bag pillow. Catch up with Duncan. We are out of optionals. We only have the last one here. I'm going to check to see how long this has been running. See you in a moment. So this has been running 44 minutes. If this turns out to be just the first step to the real end game, I'll be splitting those up. If this is really and truly the end of this campaign, I'll leave it as an extra long video. So let's see. Your bunk on the trawler lies waiting, patient and seductive, and beckons you with the promise of escape. Tend to unfinished business. Nope. Okay, go to sleep and end the campaign. You drop your head onto the pillow and haul the rough naval blanket over you. The bolt hole rocks like a cradle, and moments later, you are wrapped in the comforting arms of sleep. There are no nightmares, only shadows. Okay. The story of the Walled City riots circulates local news networks for nearly a week. Few outside of Hong Kong hear about the incident, and of those that do, even fewer care. By the end of the month, the city is back to business as usual. In Haeoi, the flow of refugees eventually slows to a trickle. Those who do escape tell stories of a terrifying demon goddess, finally driven away by one old man and a rabble of outsiders. Their mad ramblings are generally met with pity or contempt. After the incident in the Walled City, the unbroken lucky streak that propelled Tseng Mechanical Services into the limelight comes to an abrupt end. Evidence of Josephine Tseng's culpability in the Walled City riots, as delivered by a reliable source, is aired on the Horizon News Network, and the corporation's stock prices go into freefall. Within a year, Wuxing Incorporated buys out, absorbs, and dismantles the company, and Josephine Tseng is quietly filed away in a corporate prison. She remains there, buried behind walls of concrete and rebar, until she hangs herself 3 months later. Haeoi remains a safe port of call for smugglers, gangsters, and Shadowrunners alike. You are no exception. The Shadows here welcome you in a way that Seattle never did. You've earned the respect of your fixer, your clients, and your community. And now that the APB on you and your team has been lifted by parties unknown, you are free to operate only in Hong Kong. Openly in Hong Kong. The place is yours now. You're home. Kinda wish Crate got hit. Here comes the credits. Oh, I love Hong Kong. I love Shadowrun games. This is unfortunately the last Shadowrun game. There is not a fourth, as far as I know. There are side campaigns that were put out by the company. There's one for this one that's a couple weeks after this. There is one for, what do you call it? I think there is one for Dragonfall and one for Returns. So you may end up seeing me do Shadowrun again sometime. I don't know for sure. Going back to Returns program, at the Returns engine, after I've done Hong Kong, is going to feel very constraining. Heck, even going back to Dragonfall after doing Hong Kong is going to feel interesting. But we'll see. Believe that will be interesting to do, though. See the Shadows of Hong Kong bonus campaign. I don't know how long those are. Oh man, this is such a quantum leap ahead of even, in storytelling mostly. People have said this was wordy. It really needed to be. Oh my goodness, this story is beautiful. This is, I would say, a novel, but there's so many more words in here than there is in a novel. This is a I don't usually praise video game storylines in comparison to novels. Some of them are very, very good, some very compelling, but for the most part, the sheer amount of options available to you preclude the ability to make a very deep plot. Lots of things. But man, this is so beautiful. This is Ron Neko? As in Ranma Neko? Maybe not. Anyway, this is such a beautiful game. I wish I was one on the backers so I could point my name out. But I'm not. There's Ambrose Jensen. Oh man, I wish I had backed this. That would have been. I wish I'd known the Kickstarter. These are beautiful. This game is beautiful. It's horrifying, but it's beautiful. The themes in Shadowrun appeal to me in in ways that a lot of other stories don't. It gets me emotional, it gets me angry, it gets me horrified. It's not the extra planner, it's not the eldritch horror stuff, that's sci-fi. It's the people stories, the character stories. Oh my goodness, the troll family was wonderful. Gobbet is wonderful. Oh, the whole thing with Josephine saying is a terrible, terrible, wonderful storyline. The sheer lack of empathy, the sheer disregard for people. Oh my goodness. It's the family story. There's so much in this that has to do with family, the hunger bits, eating. Oh my goodness. And Ku Feng is great. I'm glad Ku Feng came back. And despite her trying to be all hard and all that, being very much more capable than she was when she fought us, I think she's still that. She might end up turning to be a monster later, but vampires are just people. I think she's still that accountant that's trying to live up to what she now is. Such a wonderful person. Wonderful game. Such a wonderful person. She just ate that guy over there. Such a wonderful person. Ku Feng is adorable. Let's help her become a better killer. But she's a vampire. She's adorable. Yeah, I'm a weird person. Remember, if you watch Dragonfall, I'm the same person that decided to protect Apex at one point because of past stories with AIs who were decent. So of course, yeah. Keep going with the backers. Oh my goodness. Sean the Gunslinger Thompson. John Dade is here too. Sun Wukong Dixon. Peter Sun Wukong. You named yourself after the Monkey King? Your nickname is a Monkey King? Okay. Brickwall Ballard. Decipher McMinn. Agent M, as in Gold Digger's Agent M? That's an interesting moniker. Ooh. I suppose I could split this into 2 videos and just release them both on the same day. But I don't think the release time is going to be a particularly convenient one, so I'm just going to go leave it with the full scale, the full long thing. It's almost an hour, I think. No, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to get close to an hour, I think, if I let it all go like this. I can speed it up, but yeah. Oh, you can rewind it. I don't think we want to rewind it. RL Radke. That's funny. Zach Davis. I don't think we wanted to go that fast because we can't make it so people can't read. There we go. Okay, there are a lot of backers to this. So much work went into this game. This is such a beautiful game. Oh my goodness. I got through Shadowrun Returns so fast because it was such a short game. I got through Dragonfall so fast because I loved the story. It was such an improvement over Returns. I did not get through this one fast. Um, it's already got 28. By the time I'm finished here, there's already 28 videos uploaded. They haven't all released, but they're all uploaded. And the 28th one should be up within the next couple of weeks. But man, I'm wondering if it's just redoing it or something or not. Zizzy Yang. I don't know what the Kickstarter rewards for this were at the time, but Warthog Weber. But I can tell you if it was build a character, then one of mine would have likely have been see if I could talk to them into putting a my changeling or my Oni in. Either or, if one of them was put a character in the story. I'm betting Cherry Pink was put a character in the story. I'm betting the the characters you can hire were backer characters. That's what I think. For all I know, they aren't. But it's like if I could have put in Kana's, and Kana never had a shadow name. She just went by Kana. She had an alias that she was going by because she was wanted, but went mostly by Kana because she wasn't very good at the espionage thing. Sort of. But if, like, put a story in there of Kana trying to build up, trying to escape out to the Midwest after the problems she ran into in Japan, or Lighty, and I forget what name I gave her. She did have a shadow name, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. If I had Lighty setting up a nightclub there, but the Cafangs were the nightclubs, so that wouldn't work. The Cafe's story was wonderful. The family drama there was great. You were able to help them. It was a great way to show the subtle influences that the Yama Kings had on the area. That was a very great thing. I loved the twist at the end. I loved how well they worked in all the different conversation things you could get into making things easier for you. It was also great. I kind of wish I still had a karma reward for beating the demon god, or have gotten to do stuff at the very end there, but to do improvement, but I can see why not. It would have just felt like a little bit of closure at that final reward for ending the game. Get some karma for this, get some karma for that, get some karma for the family that stays together, get some karma for maximum law living, get some karma for reliable Matthew, all of that stuff. Get some karma for defeating a demon goddess. Just would feel like a nice capstone to the end there, even if you never got to use it. I don't know what at the end there. Some of my fellows were getting ripped apart. Gobbet and Gaichu got torn to pieces by the monsters at the end. And when she hit Noelle, she did 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage. Most of the problem came from the AP, losing the APs. I'm wondering, was it the ridiculous amount of armor I was wearing, or was it the fact that I pumped my willpower up, or is it a combination of the two? I think it was probably the ridiculous amount of armor I was equipped with. But won't ever know. And really, at this point, is there an end to this? How many people backed this? Wow. Well, it does make sense. They had a lot of resources. Must have had a lot of resources. The Samwise League, Samwise Forever, Frodo Lives, Phoenix Silvertail Professional, Technician for Long-Range Jobs. All of the different things. I really wish there was a 4th and a 5th on Shadowrun. I don't see how they can improve on this, really. But, I mean, definitely they could. There are some things. Well, one thing, Harebrained Studios, editing for your stuff. I know there's hundreds and hundreds of files, chat files, but yeah. Oh, I really wish there was a 4th Shadowrun or a 5th Shadowrun. If there was a 4th Shadowrun, the next character would be either a troll or a human, and the 5th one would be the whatever was left. Unless they suddenly opened up meta variants, in which case all bets are off, and I'll probably play an Oni of some kind. There are other things too. Changeling, maybe. Would be interesting to play a Shadowrun game as a vampire. There are rules for that now. Surviving as newly infected vampire. There's rules for playing a were creature too. And were creatures in Shadowrun are not an infection. They are a I don't know if they're a spirit. They're an awakened animal. They're animals that have learned to shape change. They're not humans that become animals. They're animals that become humans. A little bit different than you'd expect. Fezokay. Fezzik. Dennis Mora. Wow. I'm just really impressed with the large number of people that got Isaac Willowort Dancer. Just really impressed with all the people. All the support they got. I mean, I can see why. Shadowrun's immensely popular. Shadowrun has a very heavy fan base. I'm not going to say it's immensely popular, because as much as loyal as the fan base Shadowrun is, Dungeons & Dragons still has a huger audience than any other role-playing game. Maybe not combined in these days. Yeah, because there's too many other big role-playing game names than D&D for them to have bigger than everything combined. And no, my name is not Jack Green. I'm Luke Green, but I did not support this, so good for you, Jack Green. It's... oh my goodness. Drew Ranis the Slayer Day. Just the Thriller Triller. Okay. But it just... Afro Jamuri? Okay. That's a riff on Afro Samurai. It just really impresses me how many people they got to support this. And I haven't seen a repeated name yet. Arkie, Goth Ledbetter, Captain Stillwater, Tasia Makisimovic. There are thousands of names on this list. I keep wondering, is this a repeated thing? But no, these are unique names over and over and over again. Not one of them has been repeated yet, as far as I can tell. I've looked away from the computer though a couple times, so maybe it has started, but it doesn't feel like it has. And you'd think if it had repeated once, that I would have seen. If it had started repeating, I would have started seeing, because I look at the screen more than I don't. I would have think I would start seeing repeated names, but I haven't. And some of these names are very stand out. Fabio Thexil. Thexil? Whatever. Thedman Strikes. Sheer Stupidity. Nightblade. Biff. Delnarin. Talthos. Wizard 924. Basilbot. Joff Glover. Jack Redaction. Sniper Extraordinaire. Oh, it's indie now. Are you going to restart? You are. So we're going to kick back. And we're going to go to the main menu screen, I think. Now, that pretty much does it. There's the bonus thing. We could play it. I could make some. Shadow functionality. I might want to look at that later. What's this? Set in the weeks following the events of the main campaign, Shadows of Hong Kong will give you and your team the opportunity to turn the tables on the corporate police force that once hunted you. Through layers of corporate greed and urban strife, you will contend with dangerous enemies, uncover a deadly conspiracy, and cement your reputation as a prime runner, assuming that you survive, of course. And in any case, that's the end of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Shadows of Hong Kong and the other expansion campaigns might come later. But we'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of games on my list. But I do love Shadowrun. Well, see what comes next. Talk to you later.